Hi everyone, welcome to our June team leadership training. We're excited to have you from all around the world, and particularly for this month we are very blessed to have the special guests that we have invited on to impart their knowledge, share their wisdom and spend some time with all of us. So Bart's in Sydney right now, so hi Bart. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
There you are.
Yeah, broke up for just 1 second, but yeah, hello from Sydney. I'm over here getting ready for the big event that we've got today, the Diamond Tour event later today. So we're dividing and conquering a little bit, but it's good to be with you today. We've got a great lineup of speakers, so we're very excited.
And we also have our sponsors, Ed and Rebecca Wiens, on the webinar today, and of course Dan Doyle from, hi Ed, how are you?
I was muted. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you. And Danny, you are looking very handsome.
Only for you, Melissa.
So you've been out about. Thank you so much. And we'll introduce Tom Big Al Schreiter here in just a few minutes. So as usual, we go through the agenda first. And a big part of that is to be able to collate the recognition from the last month as well in our team, which is really important to recognise you, all the hard workers and everybody who's coming up through the ranks. So we'll go through that along with the special recognition. And of course we have Tom Big Al Schreiter, whom some of you may or may not have seen at the 2015 ASEA convention. So he's going to be imparting his wisdom. He's a legend in the industry and can't wait for him to share with us. And then we've got Ambassador Diamond, Double Diamond actually, Dr. David Silverman, who will also be coming on. And Alyssa Tucker, Gold Executive, is going to talk to us for a few minutes about the Redox Events Facebook page, so we all understand that. We've got some important team information you need to know about, and we'll go through the promotions and incentives, particularly the new Australia-New Zealand Reach for the Beach promotion that started last Saturday. And of course, we'll cover upcoming events so you know what's happening, when and where, and what's planned ahead for your team. So we start off to recognise the new Director 300 rank advancements. So congratulations to everybody listed here.
So look, Director 300 is a really important accomplishment. Director 300 is where you've hit the first rank where you're actually binary qualified. You've got someone on the left and the right. You've got 300 points on the left and the right in one calendar week. And of course, you're really moving your business in the right direction. In fact, you can go all the way to the top if you just become a Director 300 machine, helping people to get started and help their people do the same thing. So it's so we've got a lot of Director 300s for this week number 19. A huge congratulations to all these people. We've got a lot of recognition to go through today, but really an amazing accomplishment.
Congratulations, everyone. That was week 18 through to 21. So congratulations to all of you again.
There we are, week 20, week 21. So those are all the Director 300s in those weeks. Again, a huge congratulations. Now we want to just cover the Director 700s. That's the next level in the compensation plan, where you've got 700 points on the left and the right. You're obviously personally qualified yourself, and moving your business forward, starting to grow the ranks. So these are the Director 700s for week 18, 19, and 20 as we go through these. So again, a huge congratulations to you guys for moving forward with your business, bringing more people on, changing lives, and making a difference.
And this is week 20 for Director 700s. Please let your team know who have been mentioned here on today's webinar that they were mentioned, just so that they realise that they're definitely being celebrated. Thank you very much. So we'll move on to Bronze Executive.
Now, Bronze Executive, this is a pretty cool rank. This is the first executive rank. And at this rank, you've got 2,000 points on the left side of your business, 2,000 points on the right side. The other thing that's cool about this is you've also qualified by having 2 Director 300. So you're definitely working and helping your team to grow and share this with other people. Also, when you've qualified for the Bronze 2 weeks in a row, you unlock an executive momentum pool where you get to participate in the global volume. So it's really good. That percentage actually increases as you move up to silver and gold and the platinum level as well. So it's really great to be able to put a little extra money in your pocket while you're changing lives and making a difference. So there's some huge incentives for that. The silver level, this is similar to bronze, except for instead of 2 Director 300s, you've got 3 Director 300s and 3,000 points on your left side of your business and 3,000 points on the right side. So it'd be 30 cases of product essentially on both sides of your business. So congratulations, Maria. Congratulations, John, Alexander, for going silver.
And Lee Jones as well.
Lee Jones, yep. And Joyce, congratulations. This is a really big accomplishment, and you're really starting to reap the rewards of the financial rewards in a significant way. And the gold executive, this is a great position, a great level. We've got, that's an interesting name, but congratulations to British Columbia. We've got another gold level executive there. Congratulations. And
congratulations to all of you, and platinum executive.
Yeah, platinum executive, a huge congratulations. This is really a significant level. So gold was 5,000 points on each side. The platinum level is a really significant jump. That's doing 10,000 points on the left side of your business, 10,000 points on the right side of your business. And you're also helping more people to achieve Director 300. So you're just simply helping people move up the ranks, working on changing lives, getting the products out there, sharing the information, making a huge difference in the lives of other people while you're doing that. So I've got quite a number of people at the platinum rank that have advanced the platinum rank. So
top associate enrollers, we'll go through these fairly quickly. Congratulations for everyone listed in Australia. This is for week 18. So very, very well done. You're actually in the trenches enrolling people, which will serve you extremely well for this new promotion we're going to talk to you about today. So that's all the associates here for week 18, week 19 as well. Very exciting. You'll see the repetition of the same names often week by week. So congratulations everyone in week 19. This is week 20. So well done. Very exciting. And this is week 21. So some really brilliant names, and we look forward to meeting all of you, hopefully at convention, whose names we can't put a face to yet. So we are very, very appreciative of the work you're doing, and we honour the success that all of you are creating here in your business. So emerging leaders, let's have a look through this list for week 18 as well. Congratulations.
This is definitely showing the achievement of helping other people succeed, helping your team grow and advance in ranks. So really great. Like you said, Melissa, you can really see who's, any of you can achieve these levels and be recognized on this. It's really not that hard. And in fact, I think that we're going to have a lot more people with some of the announcements that are coming up a little later on this call with the Reach for the Beach. We're going to talk about very exciting competition incentive that's being announced a little later. Lots of people on the emerging leaders here that have moved this forward, and a lot that have tied at level 10.
That's right. So congratulations to all of you. Bart, you're missing your bells and whistles and bubbles and confetti.
That's right. That's right.
We play some music, but it ends up being distorted on the recording. So
yeah.
Danny, you're welcome to sing. Okay. Nearly there. Congratulations, everybody.
Emerging leaders is important. It's helping your personals, your directly sponsored people to rank advance. So this is a very important category.
Thanks, Danny. I think we're nearly there. This was all for week 21. So congratulations to all of you. And then Autoship All-Stars. So got Dan and Suzanne there on the top of the list, which is common for Autoship All-Stars, #2 position. It's very exciting to see.
This is really important because you're helping your people to remain on auto ship. To be in this category, you're helping to teach and educate people the importance so that they really do want to stay on their product. You're obviously setting people up right by getting them on auto ship to begin with, and following up with people. So it's really important to be, in the auto ship all stars as well. It's an important part of maintaining a good, strong residual income in your business. So congratulations to all these people.
Top EMP earners.
This is the bonus that I was talking about before. When you hit the bronze to the platinum rank, and you're dipping into the executive momentum pool, which is 2% of all the global sales. And this is pretty cool. This is a significant increase in your check, and ASEA is very excited to reward these people for building their team and helping to hit the executive momentum or hit the executive ranks as they build their team. So pretty cool stuff, and you can see all the people that are accomplishing this.
And these people typically are those who are really focused on income producing activities in their business so that they can create the consistency of being able to pick up this bonus weekly, which is really substantial. So week 21 left to go.
I got to say, these are some pretty cool looking slides too.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Okay. Fast forward. This is, we're going to talk a little bit more about this today as well. The fast forward, this is a perfect business model to create in your business. This is bringing on 4 people within a 2-week period of time and doing at least 800 points. And ASEA is going to give you a whole lot more. They're going to reward you not only with the cash of your, but they're going to reward you with loyalty points toward free products, sample tubes. It's just a great way to create duplication in your business and move forward, and just earn more by doing more. Company rewards you for that. So there's the details of it. Enroll 4 people with at least 800 points. All those people need to be set up with auto ship, and they also need to be set up with at least a 100-point order. And with those 4 people that you enroll, you need to do a total of at least 800 points, and you get some significant rewards and benefits, recognition, and everything else. There is also so here's our fast forward winners, actually fast forward plus achievers. This is doing 8 people, and you can see the cash and benefit, cash and commission incentive is pretty significant there. You actually get 3 cases or 300 loyalty points as well as the sample tubes. So this is a pretty cool incentive, and would be 8 people that you've enrolled in that same 2-week period of time, and doing at least 1,200 points in your business. There we are. There's the incentive for that.
Hey, just a quick recap. Paula and Fred are underneath Ed Wiens. So just to recognise that there's 2nd place achievers here in Ascent, as well as some very exciting people who are getting ready to go on a trip of their lifetime. So I noticed Stevie and Sarah's name wasn't on that list. So anyway, we've got some people. We've only put in here, I think it was first 2 or through to 3rd position, or placement. So there's a lot of people going. We can't wait to hear about how their experience is when they get back. So we'll invite them to share on next month's webinar. And this is just a quick reminder of the Diamond Summit for the extension program, which is in October for the ambassadors. So we've got Dan, Suzanne, Richard and Malcolm currently who have achieved this incentive. And a few more names for the Diamond Summit at the Grand Wailea Resort in Maui. So that's October again. And we congratulate all of you who are achieving this recognition and this amazing trip, because it certainly is the highlight for all of the diamonds, the highlight of our year when it comes to trips. So congratulations. This is just, I'll go through this quickly. It's just to let you know that there are other incentives and lifestyle promotions and bonuses we earn from ASEA. This is called ASEA Diamond Life. You can achieve Diamond Life points, convention perks, lifestyle bonus and extraordinary experiences. So this just gives you a breakdown of the different ranks and what you can actually achieve or what you can experience at the convention. So here's a list of the names of people already who have managed to be able to achieve this these convention perks, which is a really fun experience. And you can also just check this out in your virtual office library, so you've got something to look forward to and plan around for when you achieve the diamond ranks. So now we're going to cross over to our very special guest speaker, our first one for today. So Bart, would you like to introduce Big Al?
I would love to introduce Big Al. Welcome to the call, Big Al. Let me just mention a couple things real quick. Now Big Al is he's a keynote speaker at quite a few events and conventions. I discovered recently that that Tom Big Al Schreiter was also has owned 2 network marketing companies that he's sold both of those companies recently. He does a weekly two newsletters a week with tips and for network marketers to help them succeed in their business. That when network marketing gets in your blood, it's there forever. And he's absolutely passionate about helping other people. He publishes numerous materials online and with Amazon, and they're also very affordable tools. So Tom is a legend in the industry. He's known well for how to communicate with people to get the best results. Big Al, would like to welcome you to the call. Thank you so much for taking your valuable time to join us. Living in Thailand, it must be a beautiful life over there now, living in style. And
well, I'm in beautiful Brisbane today, your country. So
yeah, thanks for joining us. We look forward to hearing from what you got to share with us today.
Well, you have this Reach for the Beach contest coming up. It'd be nice to win it really quick. So here is a way to expand the number of people we talk to. When we get started, we talk to a lot of people, and then we run out of people to talk to. We say, I don't have relationships with them. I don't know how to talk to them. Where am I going to find some new people? And there is a saying that once we get past our relatives and friends, it gets a lot easier. So where are we going to find these people? Well, here's a little formula that'll make prospecting easy. And it starts with understanding that the purpose of our business is to solve people's problems. There's 2 ways to approach our business. Number 1, tell them about all our benefits, all of our research, all of our doctors, all the testimonials, and we're talking at people. Another way of doing it is to talk about people's problems and help them solve their problems. Now, one way is 10 times more effective than the other. Both ways work. It's just that you work 10 times harder if you're out showing stuff. So when people have a problem, they want to fix it, and they make up their minds to buy or join before we even mention the name of the company. So the purpose of business is to solve people's problems. If everybody never got hungry, having a restaurant's pretty silly. Nobody ever got sleepy. Hotels wouldn't work either. So we're in the problem-solving business. We don't want to be like that person in front of the casino with the suit. When you walk by them, they open up their coat and says, "Want to buy a watch?" All right. Want to check out my product? Want to log on to my opportunity? So we don't want to be like that. We want to say, if you have a problem, let's see if we can fix it. So problems rock. If you're going to buy a $100,000 car and you have a $300 parking ticket, all we can worry about is that $300 parking ticket. Our mind focuses on problems. So knowing that, let's see how we can have unlimited prospects, rejection-free, pre-sold, and volunteered. So I'm your brand new distributor, and I say I was born of orphan parents, raised by wolves. I don't know anybody, and I just moved here to sunny Brisbane. Who am I going to talk to? And we look at them and say, whoa, this is going to be a problem. So you're going to tell me to do this. You're going to say, grab a pencil and paper. I'm going to have you write down a little formula. So here's what I want you to do first. Run across the street and talk to the retail sales clerk. And I say, well, why? I said, well, the retail sales clerk has to be nice to you or else they get fired. So you'll never get rejection. So start off easy because you're pretty shy. You don't know anybody. So find a retail sales clerk. And remember, they're going to lose their job if they're mean, so you don't have to worry about rejection. And you're going to say to this strange retail sales clerk the following words. The first 4 words you're going to say is, I am just curious. Now, if you say the words, I'm just curious, the human brain has a program that says, ooh, somebody said that to me. I got to open up my heart, tell them, anything they want, even my deepest, darkest secrets, and I'm obligated to help them for life. As long as it's reasonable, I'm there. It's an amazing program. If we say it, we're in. And I didn't know these 4 words when I started, so I was a nerd with no prospects. Once I learned these 4 words, I was still a nerd, but I had lots of prospects. So we're going to start with, I am just curious. And you can say that to the meanest looking stranger and melt their heart. The next 4 words will be, could you do me a favor? So we're in front of this retail sales clerk who's going to get fired for being mean. And we're going to say, well, I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? And they're going to say what? Yes, 100% of the time. Now, there might be thinking, oh, I hope you don't ask me for money. I hope you don't ask me to move. But 100% of the time, they're going to say yes. And then we're going to ask the favor. And here's the favor we're going to ask. We're going to say, I am looking for people with this problem, comma, who want to fix it, period. Now, I hope nobody's offended if we do things word for word, but I was always frustrated when I got started. They'd tell me what to do, but not how to do it. So word for word, we're going to say, I am just curious. Could you do me a favor? I'm looking for people with this problem who want to fix it. Now, here's what's happening. We're not approaching them directly so they don't feel pushed upon. And we're asking them, saying, you know, you have 200 people that you know that I don't know, and I don't want to talk to most of them. They're jerks. So I just want to talk to the 3 or 4 that have a problem that want to fix it where I can help them. And that way I'll only be talking to pre-sold people that desperately want my help, and I won't have to worry about finding people or being rejected. So let's see how this sounds in real life. So let's just, what would you say one of the biggest benefits are to your product that people notice? Energy? Let's try that. So we might say to the clerk, I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? I'm looking for people that just don't have energy in the afternoons, who would like to feel energized all day long. Do you know anybody like that? And they say, now they have 3 possible answers here. Answer number 1 is, no, I don't. Now, we weren't rejected. They just didn't know anybody, and they'd feel a little bit guilty because they couldn't help us, but we're okay. So they could say, no, I don't know anybody like that. Well, they'll probably lie about other people too. So what's the second option? Yes. So I say, you know, I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? I'm looking for people who have no energy in the afternoon and just like to be energized all day long. You know anybody like that? Yeah, my mom, she's always complaining about being tired. I said, great, what's her phone number? They said, why do you want her phone number? So I can call her and help her out. Oh, okay. Now, they have a choice at this time. Do they want to help their mom or let their mom suffer? Most people help their mom. They say, here's her phone number. I call up and say, hello, Mom. Talk to your daughter. She says you're lacking energy in the afternoon, kind of tired and stuff, and like to fix it. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. I'll help you fix it. When can we get together? That wasn't that hard. And I had somebody in Edmonton, Canada say, well, wait, what was that script to get their phone number again? I said, here's the script. What is their phone number? It wasn't that hard. So if your intention is to help them, they'll give it to you every time. If your intention is just try to sell people, they'll notice that. So that was pretty easy. Now, what's the third one? Now, the third option they have is this. I say, I'm looking for people who don't have energy in the afternoon, but would like to fix it. Anybody like that? Well, what about me? I need it. And that's a pretty good answer, too. So in 2 out of the 3 cases, they give us somebody instantly pre-sold, ready to do it. So let me give you another example. I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? I'm looking for people that have 2 jobs that would rather get rid of one of them. Do you know anybody like that? Yeah, I know a lot of people with a full-time job and a part-time job that would like to get rid of them. Wow, that was pretty easy. And all of a sudden we figure that if we talk to everybody we knew who turned us down, who accepted it, doesn't matter, and ask them this question, they will give us unlimited pre-sold prospects. Now, Let me give you a really good example, because people ask me this all the time because they think I'm some outgoing, brave person. And they say, well, how do you prospect that person behind you in line at the grocery store? They always mention grocery store. Maybe they think I'm there all the time eating or something. But here's what you do. I say, how do you talk to the person behind you in the grocery store line? I said, well, you might say something like this. Hi. I write down hi. And so you have a little chit chat and you say, hey, somewhere in the conversation, I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? And they said, well, sure. You know, I am looking for people who are really concerned about their health and like to, you know, take care of their body so they live longer. Do you know anybody like that? I say, yeah, me. Look at my grocery cart. You know, I have all these stuff in there. Yeah. Presto. We're talking to somebody totally pre-sold. But let's go further. When we go to check out at the counter, they check us out and we say to the clerk, I'm just curious, can you do me a favor? I'm looking for people that, you know, have to stand on their feet all day and kind of have a boring job, but rather have a career helping people. Do you know anybody like that? Me. And all of a sudden, we see what we can do. Watch this. You go to an opportunity meeting there at the hotel and everybody's excited. Before you leave the hotel, you could empty the hotel of staff. You could walk out and say to the security guard, I'm just curious, could you do me a favor? I'm looking for people who have jobs where they have to stand on their feet, you know, all day or all night that would like to earn more money. Do you know anybody like that? Security guard goes, yeah. And you go to the receptionist, I'm just curious, can you do me a favor? I'm looking for people who have to work nights and weekends and miss all their children's violin concerts and stuff like that. They would rather be their own boss. Do you know anybody like that? Yeah. And to the maid, I'm just curious, can you do me a favor? I'm looking for people that are underpaid that would like to earn more. Do you know anybody like that? Hey, I'm throwing away my broom right now. That's me. And we could create instant prospects on demand everywhere we go by simply asking them if they know somebody that wants to fix this problem. And nobody feels offended because we're not talking to them directly. They can volunteer, and presto, we have all the people to talk to in the world. But there's a second half of this. You say, now that I have a chance to talk to them, what am I going to say? So let's do that quickly before we have Dr. Silverman come on. So here is exactly what we're going to say. We're going to have two sentences. If you memorize these two sentences, you can rock and roll, have it all sorted out in about 10 seconds, where they're totally pre-sold. They just tell you, say, give me the details. Let's go for it. So the first sentence is, do you have this problem? Now, how do you know what problem it is? Well, if we've listened to them a little bit in conversation, if we didn't talk at them and just listen a little bit, we'll know the problem. If not, we can kind of guess what it is. The second sentence is, do you want to fix it? So let me give you some examples. So they say, well, what about me? And you might say, so you have this energy problem, huh? Or if you're from Canada, so you have this energy problem, something like that. And they go, yeah. And the next 5 words are, would it be okay if we fixed it? And in that moment, they will make a yes or no decision for our business or product. Ka-ching, and done. So let me give you a couple examples of how that would sound. First sentence, so you hate commuting to work every day fighting that traffic, huh? Yeah. Well, would it be okay if we looked at a business that you could work out of your home? Oh, yeah. Or at work. Do you hate this job as much as I do? Oh yeah, I do. So would it be okay if you and I had a cup of coffee with Dan and he gave us an escape plan? Oh yeah, let's talk to Dan now. Or do you hate going to this job? Yeah, the dream-sucking vampire boss takes little bits of my brain out every day, turning me into a human zombie. Well, would it be okay if we got online and listen to Ed's story and see maybe if this would be our escape plan? Yeah. Or the pattern is pretty apparent. All we have to do is teach our brand new distributors to listen for a problem and say, do you want to fix it? And if they want to fix it, the rest is easy. You can show them pictures, show them videos, and taste it. It's all done. And that's how quick we can fill up our diary with tons of people to talk to by simply saying, I'm looking for people with this problem who want to fix it. So that's the short story. And let me turn it back so Dr. Silverman can talk.
Yeah, Big Al, I've heard it said that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person. But you know what? You've proven that that's not really the case. It really, your words that you use really do matter. And I love how you really open doors by just changing and looking at the way that you're talking, the way that you're approaching people. Now, I heard a statistic. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this because I heard that I can't remember the exact number, but like 80% of the people that you really had as prospects, you had brought into your business, and part of that is just being, having the follow up with people. Did I hear that? Did I hear that right? I mean, you've become a master at talking with people, but also at following up with people too. Is that right?
Yeah, and the follow up is pretty easy. First of all, when somebody joins, they say, well, the people I know won't join. I said, well, it doesn't matter because 99.9% of the people in your business are people you don't know today. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that 1/10 of a percent. And they say, oh, okay. And so I just talk to people. And if we talk to them correctly by saying, do you have this problem? Do you want to fix it? Here's how follow-up works. It's automatic. When they want to fix the problem, they call us. We don't even have to call and harass them. So here's the cool part, because follow-up is hard, getting them on the phone. If we talk to them correctly the first time, it'll be in their mind waiting for them. It's like this. Do you want some cream with your coffee or not? No, I don't like cream with my coffee. But when their tastes change and they want cream with their coffee, they'll call you because you told them about it. You don't have to call them every 2 weeks and say, did you decide now to start having cream with your coffee? They'll know. So if you give them a powerful message or a powerful testimonial first, that's automatic follow-up all the time. So here's an example of maybe upping that a level, automatic follow-up. So you might say, blah, 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 blah. And they say, well, it's just not right time for me right now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. And you say, well, just do me a favor. Every morning when you look in the mirror and just ask yourself this question, do I feel great already or it's going to be a tough day? And when it's a tough day, then it's time to start the product. Well, guess what they're going to do the next morning? Look in the mirror. I'm okay. Next morning, I feel. Next morning, I better call you. So it's an automatic follow-up. You don't even have to follow up. Just put it in their mind. Say every morning you look in the mirror, decide, am I looking older or am I looking younger? Oh, maybe it's time to call. Or look in the mirror saying, do I really want to be leaving my family going to work today instead of sleeping in? So those are just quick ways to do automatic follow-up to save ourselves time so we don't have to make those dreaded phone calls where we get their voicemail and play phone tag. So back to you.
Okay. Look, I've got one more question for you too. That since you've been such a master in this profession, you've seen a lot of people, that have succeeded. From my experience, I've found that most people that really do well, they kind of build their business in bursts, in 90-day bursts, and create some momentum in their business. Is there any suggestions that have you found that to be the case as well?
Most people can be motivated for a little while and then they have to take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
So if you learned what to say, you could do this as a habit every day, just like brushing your teeth. And we have habits. I bet everybody here on the call has a habit of putting on clothes before you leave the house. It's just automatic. You don't even think about it. So our habit would be to say these 2 questions every day of our life. And then when we get motivated and have 90-day run or something, we're motivated and skilled. It's going to be about 10 times better. So that'll be pretty good. So just practice the 2 questions, make that a habit, and then your 90 days will really be flying. You'll probably have wind burns.
Big Al, great to have you on. Great to see you. Thank you so much for attending.
Thank you.
Can I have can you critique me? How would you approach influential people like yourself on Facebook?
Oh, I'd ask you if they have a problem. If they did, I'd say, would it be okay if we fixed it? It's just a habit.
Oh, well, maybe I started the wrong way. I mean, part of this story, guys, was I actually approached Big Al to come on board with ASEA. So there's a bit of fun bantering between us. We had an absolute ball with us. I've been a big fan of yours since we saw you at our convention in 2015. And just absolutely thrilled that our conversation has led to this. So thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
I look forward to being on another call with another tip or two. So let me turn it back to you because people want to win the award and win the Reach for the Beach contest and rock and roll.
Hey, let me just jump in and just say hello to you, Big Al. I think first time I saw you was in SeaTac, Washington, probably 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Had some great tips. We went to one of your workshops. I just want to compliment you for being one of the legendary leaders in the industry to help just the whole industry raise its tide of awareness and belief in the system and the belief in the profession. You've been a hero. So just on behalf of a lot of folks on our team, I want to thank you for what you've meant to all of us through the years.
Well, thanks for the kind words. And for everybody here, just use these 2 questions and every new person knows what to say instantly. Thank you.
Thank you, Big Al. We've got another couple of slides that we'll show after we speak with Dr. David Silverman, just on where to get more information about your books and with the information you sent through to us. And just the final thing on my mind is human beings like to complicate things, and what you've shared with us today with your tips is very simple. So what advice do you have for people who like to go away and complicate this process?
I tell them if you get the decision in the first 10 seconds, then they'll give you all the time of the world to complicate and chat forever. But get the decision first, and then the mind will allocate plenty of time to hear all the details in the world. But if you give them the details first and then ask for a decision, it's pretty ugly. So 10 seconds, get them to say yes, and then they say, please tell me more.
Thank you so much, Big Al.
Now, Lissy, I don't know if you were going to pull up the slides. You've got some tools and resources, and the one thing that I really appreciate about Big Al's tools is that he has made them incredibly affordable. You know, almost maybe sometimes people might actually take things for granted if they don't pay more for them. But you've made some tools and resources available to us at an extremely affordable price, and actually you've got some free tools as well. Do you want to just share a little bit with us about that?
Well, if they go to that URL up there where it says bigalbooks.com free report, they can download a couple audios from a workshop we did on magic words. When you say magic words, people listen. And they can download a book, Why You Need to Be Network Marketing. So this is kind of set up for new people to keep them in and get them excited. And there's a thing there called the closing report that explains how the mind really makes up its mind. We're in the decision business, so we might as well learn as quick as we can how people make up their mind, and it's all free. And tell people the investment is taking your time to listen to a couple audios and learn and be better. And then I've written 30-some books, and we just give them to Amazon because it's cheap, and for like $5 on Kindle or $4.99, people can read a Big Al book on one of the skills and have a fancy cup of coffee probably for less than $10.
That's fantastic. And also you've got, you know, the newsletter that you put out twice a week. So filled with tips and ideas for the industry and for people to really take their business to the next level. So we really do appreciate your inspiration and everything that you've done for us. Any other questions or comments from anybody before we let Al go? Okay, we're gonna we'd really like to thank you again for taking the time to join us today. Really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for inviting me, and always happy to be on one of the calls. So let you win the Reach for the Beach contest.
Thank you, and enjoy your time in Australia.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Big Al.
All right. Now I get the pleasure of introducing Dr. David Silverman. And let's see. Gosh, David, we've known each other for quite a few years now. We've gone back for about 23, 24 years, something like that in this in this profession.
That I'm very honored to be here, and I have nothing on any of these people that you're looking at. They're amazing leaders. Sometimes it's nice to hear from a different perspective. So my background's podiatry and foot surgery. I'm outside of Washington, D.C. Right now I'm at my brother's house. I'm upstairs in the top floor bedroom. leaning on a bench here. It's my mother's 81st birthday today. So we're here celebrating. And so I'm going to be here for like, however long you need me. Then I'm going to go downstairs and have dinner. But my background's podiatry, foot surgery outside at Washington, D.C. I own my own practice, my own surgery center. As Bart said, I was board certified in foot surgery and foot orthopedics, and as much as I could do with foot and ankle is what I did. And I went into medicine because, and I went into podiatry specifically because I didn't want to deal with life and death. I wanted to help people and give them instant benefits as best as I could. I wanted to make a lot of money, and I didn't want to work for anybody. I'm psychologically unemployable. I can't, I literally, it makes me sick to think of working for somebody. Not because I don't like people. I just don't like people telling me what to do and what I can't do. So I despise that. I mean, I really despise it. My wife is enough. She can tell me what to do. I don't want anybody else telling me what to do. So I went into medicine, but medicine changed here in the United States. With managed care, you were working harder and harder, making less and less. While I was helping people, which is what I wanted to do, and I was still making a good living, I had no free time. So I had no source of residual income. And long story short, back in about 95, I started listening to Tony Robbins. And I started thinking, like, am I leaning my ladder up the ladder I want to climb for the next 40 years and get to the top, and which I was at the top already, and say, God, I'm leaning against the wrong building. And so I wanted free time. I wanted to find a way to practice podiatry a couple days a week, and that was it, because I like doing it. And I started working on inventions. And that's a long road. That's a lot of money. It's a big fail rate. And then I was introduced to network marketing in 96 and got involved with that with a company, which I had never seen the concept. I was one of those people that said it's a pyramid scheme. So I was introduced to it, and it was with a product, as a product that was a service. It was a company called ASEA. They had telecommunication services. I didn't know the difference. I was just fascinated by the pay plan. I'm like, wow, I tell people about this, they tell people, and I get checks. So I started doing that. And after about 6 months, I was making good money in it. And I went to one of their conventions. And we have our convention coming up, obviously, in September. But I went to one of theirs, and it turned my stomach. I got to tell you, the whole thing was just, it was all about money, and it really turned my stomach. And what really did it was I saw a guy who I knew from my hometown. This was in Ohio. I live in Maryland, Washington. And I see a guy I know. And I'm like, hey, Darnell, how you doing, man? And he's walking with all these little guys behind him, like people walking behind him. And he's higher level than I am, right? I'm like, hey, how you doing? Like, what's up? And I go, what's up? And he goes, production, man, production. And all the little disciples go, production. And they're walking in a line behind him like little ducks. And I thought, this is not David Silverman. This is not my world. And I quit. And I said, I'm not going to do that again. And then real quickly, this is how I know Ed and how I know Bart. In the end of 97, a friend of mine, a doctor, introduced me to the products from this company that I know Bart and Ed from. And I looked at the product from my mother, saw that it worked. And then I saw it was network marketing. And I said, well, I can get behind this. And I went to one of their conventions, and it was a better feel for me. And I got involved with that. 2 years later, I sold my practice. There were 2 adults living in my house at that time, 3 children. Out of the 2 adults, one of them was really happy and excited about it. The other adult was not very happy and excited about it. My wife was like, what are you doing? So I went to the top in that company, just like Bart did. And I think Ed got up the same level. And when I got to the top, number one, the number of the company was dropping. But when I got to the top, I finally got to know the people that ran the company. And they were bad people. I mean, my opinion, they were bad people. And it was all about using the distributors, and all the good things they said on stage was a big facade. And worked really hard to try to change things there, but couldn't. And my income just dropped. And then I got to the point where, I kept working it hard. And then I stopped talking about the opportunity because I couldn't believe in it. I didn't believe in it. So when you stand up and speak at a Starbucks or a meeting, if you can't talk passionately about your company's product and the opportunity, you're dead in the water. And I couldn't talk passionately about the business opportunity because I didn't believe it anymore, because I was busting my butt and my income was dropping. So, and I didn't see people making money. So once I stopped talking about the opportunity, it was a spiral. Then I got a job. which I didn't want to do. And it was a good job, made good money, but I hated it. And then in December of 2010, Debbie Wetzler brought me ASEA, tried it for my father. He had a severe prostate issue, kind of issue that people get in their breast or their bone or their pancreas. And he went through traditional treatment, but I got him on the product to see if it would help other things. In addition, if that treatment didn't help with the radiation, it would help. I saw what it did for him. I was a little, there were too many variables, but real briefly, it was a few months later. My dad's fine today. He's downstairs right now, and that was 8 years ago. I saw it work on a friend of mine had really bad joint problems, and we thought it was a placebo, but then some skin lesions fell off his body, and he was just drinking it. There was no gel. That's when I got involved with the business, and I was off to the races. 3.5 years in, I quit my job, and I've been doing it full time since the early 2015.
Wow. So when you started, all you had was the drink. When we started in Australia, all we had was the gel.
Yeah, I think I would have rather had the gel. It's an easier sell with the pain relief thing.
Yeah, well, you've been kind of the master. I think you sort of really were the one that promoted the idea of the 3 and 5 to show people how to get really good results, not just on wrinkles, but where they've got areas of discomfort and getting that down, right down into the tissues and seeing relief from all kinds of things in a relatively short period of time. So that's fantastic. And, you spoke, and it's interesting because I felt the same way. Sometimes cultures and companies change, but the thing that really makes the difference, obviously it was your father that brought you into this, but when did the lights go on and say, man, this is a company I can really get behind? Because you talked about the company and the opportunity, the culture of that company is so important. Yeah. Obviously, you've found something different with the founders and the founders of this company, as well as, of course, the product is incredibly special and unique. We know that.
Yeah, I left that out because that was a very important part of this. So Debbie Wetzler said and Debbie was in my downline in the other business. She was a platinum in my downline who was starving, bankrupt, her house was being foreclosed on, worked very hard. And she told me this is very, very different. Now, again, it was almost a year before I looked at the business side of this because I was so jaded on network marketing. But I was talking to her and I said, when it worked on my friend Dan with his skin lesions and so forth, I called Debbie and I said, so this is not a placebo. So tell me about the company. And she had told me a year before, she goes, this is very different than where we came from. And it's the people. She told me about Virtus, but I wasn't paying attention. She didn't have my attention back then. Now she had my attention. So Virtus and Karen Riley came to Washington, D.C. to do a meeting. And I went and I sat next to Virtus and had dinner at I think it was a bronze and above dinner or something. Just sitting there talking to him and spending time with Karen and really looking in their eyes and getting a feel and asking them questions. I could see what Debbie said was very different. I'd seen all the videos. The Genesis video wasn't out yet then. That came out in 2012. But it was the people that made the difference. I saw the integrity. I saw the story of the Genesis. I mean, Virtus told me what happened. And I saw him crying when people were talking to him about what the product had done. And I watched. And I said, this is different. And that's when I was really off to the races. I mean, that was really the beginning for me. So I think when I speak at big meetings, and I know there's a lot of associates there. I say, how many people have been in network marketing before? And people raise their hand. How many people are brand new? And I said, those of you who are brand new, you don't appreciate this as much as we do. You don't no offense, but there's no way you can appreciate how special and rare this is. Because you're walking into your first network marketing company. It has integrity in the corporation. It has integrity in the field. It has an amazing product, a breakthrough product for humanity, probably the greatest health breakthrough of ever. I mean, this is huge. We have patents on the product. You're in at the beginning of this thing. Right now there's 70,000 active associates. Those of us who have the scars on our backs from other companies, and I see people on here right now that do, we appreciate it. We know that this is a moment in time that just doesn't happen. It's so rare in network marketing. And that's why we work so hard, because we know what's coming. See, you look at Dan and Bart and Melissa and Ed and Rebecca, there's only been one company in the history of network marketing that's done $10 billion a year. One, Amway. They didn't even do it last year, but they've done $10 billion in a year. That's what we have. We know it. So we're not messing around. And our philosophy in this business is, hey, You know, there are people who want to run with this business, there are people that want to walk, and there are people that want to complain about things. And so our philosophy on our team is we run with the runners, we walk with the walkers, and we stop with the stoppers. The people who want to run, all hands on deck, let's help that person run. I just had somebody come in actually at Bart and Ed, you know, Dave Stoltzfus, he's in now. In fact, he wants to run. I mean, I've been working on him 7 years, you know, but I was pleasantly persistent. And that's another lesson, just stay with people. But he wants to run. So I'm going to run with him. I'm like, Dave, you put your saddle on my back. Let's rock. Now, if someone comes in and they want to walk, they're not like Dave Stoltzfus. That's fine with me. I mean, I'll walk with them. I don't want to push people into what they don't want to do, because that walker can come to a convention and turn into a runner like that. Or that walker could walk and introduce us on a three-way phone call to a runner, and then I latch on to that runner. So I kind of digressed a little bit, but I do want people on this call. It looks like there's, God, you got a lot, 120 some people on here. Those of you who know what I'm talking about, and you've got the battle scars, you know what we've got right now in this magical moment of time. And those of you who are new, or thinking, well, you're feeling yourself or feeling your way around this, just get all your questions answered and get your belief up in this, so that you can just let it rip, whether it's 5 hours a week or 40 hours a week. But I knew I was never going to I didn't want to look back and regret that I didn't put it in. And it's let me tell you, when the residual income starts flowing, it is the most amazing thing. Wendy in our life is so different because of what we did. And she's more in the supportive role. I'm the one doing it, but it's worth it, guys. It really is.
Maybe just talk about that for just a second. What life was like before and what life is like now, because I know that last company that we were both involved with, it just was not going in the right direction. There was some challenging times, I know, for a number of people. I mean, you've been able to, ASEA has changed your life in so many ways, but what has that meant for you? What does life look like for you now?
Well, physically, I mean, I'm 58. I feel like I'm 25 years old. I mean, so the product's been a gift for my whole family, everybody. Look, I always tell people when I do a presentation, you got an amazing product, you have an incredible opportunity. I'm telling you, to put them on scale, the opportunity is as important as it is for people that need it, that had stress like I did, and people want more in life and they want abundance, so they want to get rid of stress. It's very important, but it's dwarfed by the breakthrough. I mean, the opportunity is dwarfed by what this means to humanity. I would tell people about this product if there was no opportunity. But the opportunity side of it, because I understood network marketing, I realized, wow, this is the one. This is going to be the last one I ever do. This is legacy. This is decades. And I had so much stress because, number one, I didn't like having a boss. Number two, I mean, I was making okay money, but nothing like I'm making now. And we had some big challenges in our family, big expense. And I'm talking besides three kids going through out-of-state college, which is, it's $50,000 a year is what it was. And it was 4 years, 3 kids, lots of other stuff. I mean, lots of expenses. And like going to get a car wash. It's like, no, I got to do it myself. A car got worn out treads. I got to wait on the tire. The car's making noises. I can't get that fixed because we got other expenses, priorities. To go to New York, I'm going to, or go to 400 miles away, get in the car and drive. I'm not buying an airline ticket. It's so nice just to buy an airline ticket. I mean, I just booked, I'm doing an event in Las Vegas. I just booked it today. And I was thinking, when I go to book flights, I think of it. I'm like, remember when it was so stressful to buy an airline ticket? And it's just not. So money doesn't make you happy. It makes you comfortable. It just takes the stress away. And Wendy and I went to Florida. We got a place down in Florida now. We were there for 3 months. Never could have done that as a doctor. I never could have done it in another network marketing company. We go down to Florida. We're there. I play golf every day. I work from there. I travel from there. I went to Asia from there. Life is the financial part of it just takes so much stress away. And besides that, seeing it happen for other people is the biggest thrill. I mean, just the weight's off our chest, which is great. And you know, I don't have to make more money than I'm making right now, but I know I'm going to make $2 million a month. That's what's going to happen in this business. Those of us on here know that's where we're going. Nobody needs much money. I'm starting to think about what am I going to do with the money? I don't want to leave it all to my kids. I'm thinking bigger about what I'm going to do for humanity.
Well, thanks for sharing that. I know sometimes, you know, it was said that there's a lot more important things to think about than bills. And when you can take that off your plate, then you can really start thinking bigger. You can do more. Look, I'd like to transition just a second into some real solid nuts and bolts on how you built your business, give us some tips and some ideas, because I know that you built your business with 90-day blast, burst, momentum. In fact, I remember back going to Eric Warre's six-figure summit. Basically, everybody there was earning six figures or more. A lot of people were making $1 million a year or more. And he said, every single person in this room, you know, by the show of hands, he says, I know that every one of you built your business with a burst, a 90-day all-out massive action burst in your business. And if you're making 7 figures a year, you've done that multiple times. Now, I know when you got started, you hit the ground running, you put some massive momentum into your business, which has propelled you moving forward. And I know that you've had several bursts in your business where you've said, you know, hey guys, on your mark, set, go, let's set the date. Do you want to just talk with us for a second about creating a momentous burst in your business? Because we've got a contest, the Reach for the Beach, and people can win, particularly if they're in Australia or New Zealand, but there's incentives in the US right now for winning a trip to the convention, that sort of thing. So there's some great incentives to inspire people to just have a little reward at the end of it too. But I'd love to hear what you did and give us a couple pointers on that.
All right, and let me mention one thing too into that end. You know, I'm an Ambassador Double Diamond. The cool thing about this business is that you don't have to have superstars in your business. I didn't have any diamonds in my business until Ireland, and the person that went Double Diamond hasn't done anything in 6 years. It just accidentally happened for her. Now this year I'm gonna have diamonds popping. But the beautiful thing is I didn't bring in network marketers. I didn't have any. Dave Stoltzfus is the first real successful network marketer that's come into my business. Seriously successful.
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you. But it's an organic thing. I mean, I built it organically. So I don't want people to think like, you know, you got to know people from other companies and bring network marketers in. They're probably the best because they get it and they believe in network marketing. But I just want to for those of you who don't have network marketing friends, don't worry about it, because I didn't go after network marketers. They were still in that company, and they had a covenant to not compete and all that. But anyway, so you know what happens is in network marketing is you don't have a boss, so you don't have somebody telling you what to do. If you don't hit your goals, you don't get fired. I didn't hit my goals, right? But if you have a boss and you don't do what they want you to do, you get fired. So we have a volunteer army. And what happens with people, they tend to float through the week, and they float through the month, and they float through the quarter. What I mean is they don't have set tasks, and there's no set time limit on what they have to do. Then they tend to say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, I'll call those people. Then I'll call them the next day. And then they float through the day. They don't get their things done. And it's the week and the month. And all of a sudden they're like, well, why am I still a director of 300? Because they didn't put any real effort. Now, nobody can push really hard for a year. Some people do. I mean, I pushed hard, so you don't have to push hard for a year. But people can push pretty hard and make some sacrifices for 90 days. You can do it in 30, is a lot easier, but 90 gets a lot accomplished. And so we put together this group synergy thing called the 90-day burst, 90-day push. And we set up a program where it's for people who are serious. Now, we've done several of them. We tend to do them right after the summer, or right after convention, because those generally are the quietest months. Well, it's a good time to do it. In the summertime, generally it's a little quiet because families are vacationing. But when kids are back in school, here at the beginning of September, we do it for September, October, November, and we rock it. So it's usually like the middle of September to the middle of December because people slow down around Christmas. That's when we usually do it. No excuses. Nobody's on vacation anymore. It's a great time to go. And we put together a group and say, look, and everyone's a little bit different. I'm just going off the cuff because when we do it, it's a little bit different. But we could have, we try to match people up together that have the same goals. So we could have two sets of this, people who want to put in, 12 to 15 hours a week and people that want to put in 15 plus hours a week. And we make accountability partners and groups. So they're holding each other accountable. That's the thing. They talk once a week, or they can talk more about what their goals are and what they've done. So it's not they're not upline from each other. They're cross-line. So we try to match people up as partners. We have a weekly special call just for the people in the push group. That's it. We'll bring in very special guests for those. And the rest of the team doesn't get it. We have a team call. They get everything else, but they're not getting this. It's special attention to the people who want to run for 90 days. They have assignments. They have things they need to do. They have to make a to-do list every night. We don't have to see it, but they have to commit. They sign a contract that they're going to do these things. It's a tomorrow to-do list. So when they go to bed at night, they know what they're going to do tomorrow. They don't have to get up and say, what should I do? It's nice to know at night when you go to bed what you're going to do the next day, right? So these are the types of things that we do. They have to read at least a chapter of a book or listen to a chapter of a book every day, a chapter of a personal development book or a network marketing book or something. What else do we have on here? Just to give you ideas. They're going to listen to the charge up call every day, live or recorded. They're going to be doing a fast forward every 14 days. They're initiating it. Have them submit their list to us. We have program coordinators. So if Debbie and I are running it now, we have platinums who are in it to be the program coordinators of their downline. And if they don't, and in other words, they're going to send their list to the program coordinator, and they're going to have the list. We don't have them put the phone numbers and stuff down for privacy, just the names of people and prioritized of who they're calling when they hit the ground and go. And everybody that's in that push gets a little special attention from the diamonds and the upline, because we're not ignoring everybody else. They get the same attention they did. But these people, if we see a text from somebody in the group, we're going to answer that then or as soon as we can, because they're part of this committed group. Now, truthfully, a lot of people say, yeah, I'll do it. And look, there's an 80-20 rule in business. 80% of the business is generated by 20%. And the same thing happens in the push. You see people drop out. They're not doing it. They drop out. They got in it because they were excited and said, oh, I get extra support. And then they don't do it. And that's okay. It's not like we shun them and say, you're an idiot. It's like, we know that there are people going to drop out. But the core group that stays in, they're the ones that see their business really move. And that's how we kind of run the push for 90 days.
I love it. One of the main things that I really like is the fact that people create an action partner. And, you said you run with the runners, you walk as you stop with the stoppers. And that's the most important thing. So look, I would really encourage everybody, particularly with this Reach for the Beach that we've got going on right now. We're going to go through the details of that, but this particular contest is spectacular. 5-star resort in Bali.
Wow.
And it's just a matter of making the decision. Now, I did in fact, we're doing one of the presentations today, bronze to diamond. And if you look at the diamond ranks, we did looked at Danny and Melissa and I, Justin and Nicole, Mal Sword, basically everybody kind of tracked it, put in about 20 to 25 people in the first 90 days. And my guess is that you did the same thing. I don't know if you know how many people you put in that.
Oh, yeah. And it's hard to explain this. I'm the only person, I didn't have any binary help. I'm the only diamond, I think, that built 3 legs. As weird as that sounds. How does somebody build 3 legs in a binary? It's really a long story. But I put in a lot of people. I said, how many people do I need to put in? And in the beginning, I put anybody that could fog a mirror. But I think I put in, because I really built 2 distributorships. Long story. My guy that had the skin lesions fall off, we partnered because I didn't want to sign up in anything. I built it to platinum. He was doing all the work. And then my father, who had joined before for the product, I took his position and we were going to split everything, but I was doing all the work. So I gave away that platinum distributorship. And I had put in about 60 people and he put in about 20. So I gave that away. And then I started doing it again on the other side. But I did. I knew that what happens is if you bring in 10 people, you think, oh, I've got my 7 legs at least of Director 300. You probably only have 2, maybe even 1. It's a numbers game because it's an 80-20 rule. Most people are not motivated enough and they're not coachable enough. They won't come to convention. They don't get the belief. And so there's always doubt and they'll quit. They'll just be customers. So you need to bring in numbers. You don't stop until you have enough. And enough means you got 5 strong legs, because triple presidential diamond is you have to have 5 strong legs. And so I have the 5 strong legs now. There are no diamonds, only diamond in one of them, I kept pushing and pushing. And when I bring in 10 people, I did it in batches of 20. I said, I'm going to bring in 20 people, right? I'm going to bust my butt. We didn't have fast forwards then, but bust my butt, bring in 20 people, and then let me assess what's going on. Who is doing what they say they're going to do? Who's keeping me busy? And if I got 10 people and I was so busy, I'd say, okay, I got to slow down on my prospecting. Okay, I still prospected, but if I got to 20 and I boiled down to 2, I'm like, all right, I got to focus on another 20. Because I tell people when they come in, you're probably going to bring in 50 to 100 people, maybe more, right? And they say, oh my God, that's so much. I can't do that. Some, like Dave Stolz is like, okay, that's fine. But some people, 100, like, well, can you see 50? Oh, no. I'll say, can you see 20? Oh, no. Can you see 8? They're like, yeah, let's do a fast forward plus. That's what we're going to do. And when they bring in the 8, then they can see, oh, I did it. I can do it again. I can bring in 16. Then I can bring in 32. So yeah, you want it. You don't want to mess around. It's like, I learned this from Dave actually years ago. It's like an airplane on a runway taking off, right? I mean, you got to build up a certain amount of speed for it to get to lift off. If you don't put the pedal to the metal, you don't get the lift off. You're going to go off the end of the runway and crash. And that's what a lot of people do because they never get that momentum. And numbers give you momentum because you bring in enough people the right way and plug them into your system that you have here. You're going to identify a couple of people that really want to do it like you. And some of them may not. And that's okay. They may come along later and they may never come along later. But don't let anybody who quits take your dream away because this is going to be the biggest network marketing company in the history of the world. The world doesn't know what's coming. So my attitude was and is just go for it.
Yeah, there's something to be said for creating that momentum. It's contagious. It's inspirational for other people, and it really does help to create that momentum in your business. So that's pretty good. I mean, you pretty much already said it. I mean, the biggest network marketing company. I know how passionate you are about the technology. So we are sitting in pretty unique timing, particularly where we're at right now, with the international growth, with all the research that's already been done, and where we're headed. Do you sounds like you really create a sense of urgency when you're talking with people too, because that sense of urgency is real with where we're at with the timing, right?
Well, with associates, I mean, you can't push people too much until they're ready, but once they're in and they say they want it, tell them what they're going to have to do. You know, they could be 10 hours a week. That's fine, but I don't mess around with it. But I got to get them to convention. The only way I can get them the big vision is convention. I can carry them on my back, their vision for a while, but they're operating, even if they go bronze or silver, they're operating with a blinder on. They don't have the vision that I have. And once they go to convention and they talk, not just what's on stage, talk to you guys, talk to everybody, blinders come off, and that's when they're like, let's hit it. And that people make big decisions at big events. Yeah,
I'm really glad that you've said that. We've got, of course, the convention in Las Vegas coming up, which is going to be amazing. It's definitely a bigger commitment to fly across the pond from Australia or New Zealand, but it's absolutely worth being at the big convention. And also, whether it's the local one that we have here in the Gold Coast, wherever you're at, you want to make sure that you get the big events. You've mentioned big events several times, and that's where people do catch a big vision, a big picture. So look, I want to just kind of open it up. I don't know if Dan or Melissa or Ed, if you guys have any other questions for David before we kind of wrap up, but
how you doing? Thanks for coming on. I just love the collaboration between leaders cross line and everything we do in this company. I think it is a big point of difference. I have had no experience in other product-based network marketing companies, which you have, David. What are the big points of difference between us and other companies?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's the integrity of the company, number one. I mean, these are good people. Whenever they're not perfect, they make mistakes, but they got our back. They're not trying to screw us, which a lot of network marketing companies do. I've seen people come to me over the past 8 years with oh, this is great. I'm going to go into Jeunesse. This is the greatest thing. I'm not going to bash people, but Jeunesse is dead here now. I think it's only big in China right now because of its integrity. And Nerium was the next one. And then Hilo was the next one. And they're all excited and they go to different things. Even Dave was getting involved with something at a ground level. And I'm thinking, well, 90% chance he's going to be, I was 2 years ago and he's done. people want to find a home, and integrity is the biggest thing. The product, the patents, the timing, and the people. That's what we have.
Fantastic. We've got an incredible ethos the company leads with as well.
Oh, I mean, look, it's principles and people above ego and economics. That's what it is. And people that have battle scars are untrusting, distrusting, mistrusting, whatever the word is, of that. And that's why it's good to come to convention. I mean, I had people in Singapore. I had a mom come over here for the convention 2 years ago from Singapore, and because she came, I've got a big business in Singapore. She would never have gotten the vision if she had stayed in Singapore. It was a sacrifice for her, big sacrifice. But you've got to have belief in the company and the product and network marketing in yourself to let it rip. And you guys have the infrastructure in place to help your team succeed. It's a matter of, are they coachable and motivated? If they are, they're going to win. If they're not coachable and they're motivated, they're probably not going to win. If they're motivated and not coachable, they're probably not going to win. It's got to be both. And just don't compare yourself to other people. Denny Robinson says, comparison is the thief of all joy. And I totally agree with that. I hate to jump off, but my family's waiting for me, my mom's birthday. And I told them I was going to be at 7 o'clock 15 minutes ago. I was going to be downstairs. Would you forgive me if I left?
No, not at all. Look,
Ed, thanks, buddy.
thank you so much for joining us on the call today. Really appreciate your time, and we'll let you get on with your family commitments and obligations. And look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas, if not before.
See you in Cancun, Dave.
Cancun. And I'll tell you, I was being very, very polite. I've been waiting. I've had this beer sitting here waiting until we were done with this, and now I'm ready. So happy birthday, Mom.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Happy birthday, Mum.
Yeah.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.
Such a class act, and we're so blessed that David's cross line, obviously, that he's able to spend that time with us, and yet again that's indicative of the culture of ASEA. So Ed or Dan, I don't know if you wanted to say anything to conclude that section.
Dave's just a great guy. He's a great cross-line collaborator. He's a powerful voice of credibility for the products, for the technology, but he's just as a powerful voice for network marketing as a business today. So it was great to have him here in our place a couple of weeks ago, and it's a lot of fun. Great guy.
Yeah, really appreciate the time that he's put in to come on to our team to give us all his knowledge and wisdom. And we're going to be doing a lot of things together this year. We're doing a couple of presentations, hopefully, and meetings down in Florida together. But we're looking at pulling a lot of the leaders together to do this. Just going to throw in a call, actually, that I've got in 45 minutes, which Jim Glenn reached out to me to do a Discover ASEA in a Q&A type format. So everybody's more than welcome to jump on that in 45 minutes, which is www.redox2.com, and that'll take you through on the Zoom app.
Okay, maybe you can put that in the chat box there too, Danny. Look, we've got some exciting things that, in fact, huge announcement. Reach for the Beach that we're going to talk about here for a second. So if you're in Australia or New Zealand, and then we've got some other upcoming events and things that we're going to share as well.
I want to know how to that from over here.
Yeah, you would. This resort looks absolutely amazing. So Reach for the Beach. Should we flip through some of these slides, Melissa?
Yeah, just for everybody to know, we've been doing the Diamond Tour here in Australia. So we launched it Reach for the Beach last Saturday in Adelaide. So all the details are in your ASEA virtual office. It is an exciting way to pull together everything that has been featured on the call today in terms of Big Al's scripts, to the creating the momentum, to the fast forwards, all that type of thing. So pay attention, because it is a really great way for all of us out here to have fun in Bali. So yeah, I'll go through the next slide, but the actual trip's December 11 to the 15th. So I don't know if you've all been to Bali. We just took our first trip to Bali in December, and we absolutely fell in love with it. So it's so close to Australia too, which is fabulous for people who like to be closer to home. So here's just some photos featuring the resort and how unbelievably beautiful it is with that rainforest environment.
If you look at the promotional video, I'm not sure if you were going to play that, but
No.
the rooms are absolutely glorious. The customer service, the people are so gracious in Bali. I was just blown away when we went there. It's been one of my dreams to go to Bali, and so if you haven't been there, if you've been there, I'm sure you know what I mean. But particularly this Nusa Dua area, this resort is all inclusive. So your food, beverage, everything is taken care of, and they've even got a kids club. You can bring your kids along. So family friendly.
It's
definitely worth.
inclusive for a trip to two.
Yep. So let's see, earn the getaway. So let me just run through the qualifications on this, and let me break it down so that you actually know how to make this happen. And, you know, David talked about creating a daily mode of operation, a DMO every day. And so let's just break down this contest of what it takes to win this. So there's 4 different levels. First of all, the contest period, as Melissa said, started May 25th, and it ends on, let's see, September the 19th. So
it's actually September 27th.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I just saw yep. Thanks, that's right. Okay, so there's 4 different levels to win. You need to enroll anywhere between 15 people and 28 people, and they can be preferred customers or they can be associates. And it's based on your volume when you enroll those people, and it's also based on the auto ship volume that they have too. So all those points count for the points. The reward is a 5-star resort, spectacular resort, all-inclusive as we mentioned, and you get to really benefit from this spectacular place. So next slide. Okay, unlimited qualifiers at each rank. So the grand prize is not just for one person. This is for anyone and everyone that actually achieves this. It's 4,605 Australian dollars in value, which includes $2,000 travel reimbursement. And you can see the second prize is a little bit less than the travel reimbursement, but this is of course your room for 2 people. And then the fourth prize would be $500 travel reimbursement, and which is valued at $2,555. So the time for this, you want to mark your calendars, December 11th through the 15th. Now, let's see, sorry, let me just fix something here. All right, so what do you need to do to make this happen? Let's just break it down a little bit. So the grand prize, I mentioned, it's 28 enrollments. Now that seems like a pretty big, for some of you it might sound like a pretty big bite to chew off. That's a lot of people to bring in, but when you break it down, it's not that bad. So if you, over the contest period of time, that's only enrolling a little over 1.5 people a week. So you think, geez, of all the people I know, if I talk to people and I follow up, can I bring in, if you shoot for 2 people a week, some weeks you may not quite hit it, you can easily achieve that. Now, the total volume is 11,000 points, and that would be an average of about 650 personal volume points from those enrollments each week. So you can see the second prize is enrolling 25 people, third place is 20 people, and the fourth prize is 15 people. So the way to look at this is shoot for the grand prize, and if you aim for the moon and you miss, you still land amongst the stars and you'll get there anyway. So aim for the 28, break it down and see how to hit that. But again, even at the fourth place prize, it's enrolling just a little, almost approximately 1 person a week, and creating 5,000 total volume points, which is only 295 personal volume each week through those enrollments and so forth. So should we hit the next slide? Okay, so how to meet those enrollment requirements. First of all, everybody that you enroll needs to have at least a 100-point order. So at least a case of product, not just a serum or a tube of Renew 28 or something like that. They need to have a case of product. Could be the skin and body care. It could be a case of ASEA. It could be a case of Renew 28. Preferred customers need to have at least 50 points, which is the same volume of products. It's half the points. Now, how to meet the volume requirements? The volume is determined by the commissionable volume. And let's see, so if you enroll someone with 1 case of product, that's 100 points. Let's see, and then as I mentioned, the auto ships also count for this. So any of the auto ships that they have during this contest period count toward that volume as it's added on. Next slide. Okay, so let's just take a look at the example of the enrollment packs. Now, the way I look at these enrollment packs is I look at it as setting people up for success. And if you're helping someone to start a business, or if they've got a family, they've got multiple people on the products, or and I know, Dan, you like to talk to people about setting them up with a product usage plan so that they really have a plan for how much product they're going to use and how long they're going to be on that product. And so particularly if someone's dealing with a serious health challenge, the benefits of coming in with an entrepreneur pack, for example, is massive from multiple levels. Obviously, you've got more product, and Melissa and I, when we got started, we just thought, hey, we want to set ourselves up for success. So it's a good idea to have product to sell, to use personally for both of us. It's a good idea to have some product for display. It's maybe a good idea to have a little bit of product to sell. So 1,300 volume points would be an entrepreneur pack. A business pack would be 400 volume points. And then if someone just needs to get started and funds are a little tighter, they can start with a personal pack, for example. So these are the enrollment packs, and you can see that you can really boost your volume points by helping people to get into a business or an entrepreneur pack. Now, the auto ship volume, really encourage you to set people up for success. Again, if you can get them on the nutritional program, this just shows the source, but really they want to be on the Biome and the Life Max as well. So you can increase this as well, have them use the nutritional products, the ASEA, as well as the Renew 28 or the full skin and body care pack. So again, it's helping them to see what their needs are. But just the examples here is just a case of ASEA is 100 points, a case of ASEA and 2 tubes of Renew 28 is 150 points, and you can see how you can increase this. So help people to at least have 150 point volume for each of their auto ships. Now here's an example for the grand prize. So you enroll 28 people, which is, now this is interesting. So this is only averaging 200 volume points per enrollment order in this example. And as we've already talked about, you can significantly increase that if you're helping to set people up with the other packs, which gives them more loyalty benefits and everything else. So if we did that comes to 5,600 points. Now that, remember, we need 11,000 points to qualify at the grand prize. So let's say, for example, if we have 42 auto ship orders. Now that's only an average of 1.5 auto ship orders per associate that you brought in. Now we want to set everybody up on auto ship, and that's part of the requirement too, is when you enroll someone, you've got to make sure that you set them up with an auto ship platform or auto ship when they enroll. They can always cancel that, but it needs to be part of the enrollment process. Now, if people during this contest period, which goes for about 4 months, if each person just averages 1.5, you're going to create, and those, let's say, in the average auto ship volume is only 130 points, that's another 5,460 points. So you can see that you can easily add this up to 11,060 points. That's how you achieve the grand prize, and that's how you eat an elephant, one bite at a time to get there. Now we'll just step down. Instead of going through the third and the fourth, let's just take an example of the fourth prize qualification. This is enrolling 15 new associates. Again, exactly the same average of 200 points enrollment order. That would be a total of 3,000 points. And then if you created 16 auto ship orders, that's actually less than 1 per new associate over this 4-month qualification period. And the average is still 130 points per associate. That's 2,080 points, and you've done over 5,000, so you've qualified at the fourth place qualification prize. So even if someone came into this contest, 2 months in, and they really wanted to make a run for it, halfway through, or even at the end wanted to make a big push, you could absolutely get in on this promotion. So the idea here is to not only achieve it yourself, but how many people would you like to bring in with you and come and enjoy this? It's a perfect way to reach out to your team. Even maybe people have been a little bit inactive and said, hey, there's a great incentive. You want to make a run with me with this? Let's do it together. Have fun. David talked about creating he called it an accountability partner. I like it as an action partner. Create an action partner, create your team, and absolutely go for it. Make this happen. So will you reach for the beach? And the other part of this, if you want to hit the next slide, I think that there's a here we are, the fast forward. Now, David talked about having people go for the fast forward promotion as part of this. It's a perfect way to do this. So if you did back-to-back fast forwards, you would have sponsored 32 people. So this way, it's really one contest piggybacked onto another, one incentive program piggybacked onto another incentive program, and ASEA is going to, compensate you for all of it. So, shoot for the fast forward, or even for that matter, the fast forward plus, and you're going to receive additional free product, additional sample tubes. You'll get additional recognition, and you'll actually win this incentive program. So I think the next slide actually shows. Yeah, here we are. So if you did back-to-back fast forwards, and you could still start this right now, you would have enrolled 32 people. So it's a great way to just track this. You'd have enrolled 32 people. You would have created. You're doing all the business activity that you want to create a lifestyle income forever, because you're setting up the residual income forever, and you're getting all these additional rewards for doing what you'd want to do anyway. So make your commitment to reach for the beach, get in touch with your upline, your mentor, create an action partner, and let's make it happen. Let's go for it, guys. This is the time to start a 90-day all-out massive action push right now in your business. So back to, yeah, yes.
Just on Reach the Beach, and there's also, I've recognized a few people on this call from the States, and there's also another incentive being launched here in the US, just in regards to winning your way to convention. So people can actually, this is a similar, very similar promotion or incentive. Little qualifications a little bit different, but you can win your tickets to convention. You can win merchandise credit for when you get there. So you've got credit to actually spend in the merchandise shop, travel reimbursement, and also you can win a suite. So you can win the whole trip. Fast forward's definitely the way to build your business. Strategically, on top of what Bart and Melissa just went through, have a think about, I did it yesterday, the day before. You may want some additional product for you and your family. Instead of actually putting it through somebody in your business, actually get somebody who's new and enroll somebody new to put it through them, which is going to count towards the qualification.
Great idea. Danny, I was just reflecting when we got started. They had a Cancun incentive, and we really talked with a lot of people. And how many people did we have there? In collectively, I think we had about 14 people or something.
It wasn't bad for the first trip. Yeah. No,
it wasn't bad. So when we're talking about get your team going with this, I mean, this is the time to pick up the phone. And even if you're introducing someone to this, right now, just using some of these scripts that Big Al shared with us, you can, hey, do you know anybody who would like to go to Bali for an all expense paid trip? Yeah, I would. Well, let's make it happen. I can show you how to do it. I can solve that problem for you.
It's the all-out massive action for the qualification period, but the first month or two is critical with those auto ships coming in and following to add to your qualification totals. So, the next 30 to 60 days, everybody in North America, in Australia, New Zealand, and I know there's stuff going on in Europe, should be just doing this with everything they've got for the next 30 to 60 days, and then continue with that momentum through to the end of the qualification period.
Yeah. Ed, you were right there at the beginning with that push to Cancun as well. I don't know if you're still there with us, Ed, but I don't know if you want to just talk to us briefly about all-out massive action, going for an incentive like that. It just makes it a game.
That was
it turns it into something fun. You can certainly talk to people about.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that was our Reach for the Beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was my first event, really. My first ASEA event was at Cancun. I think it was like the Vertis Norton retirement celebration or something like that. But that's where I got a chance to meet a lot of your Aussie team for the first time, and look back at those pictures once in a while and remember the great time that we had back then. And of course, I'm looking. I got an email just a couple of days ago of the attendees for the upcoming event in Cancun, and you've got a ton of people on your team. That are, I think we have like 50 some people on our team total that are coming to the event in Cancun, a lot of them on yours. So we're looking forward to being down there to get a chance to meet some of them for the first time and just have a great time. But yeah, these events are, the company does fantastic events. They're great incentives, great rewards. They're big on experiences, but those experiences are what bonds us together. This is a relationship business, and relationships don't happen to the degree that that really kind of binds us together, like they happen at events like coming up in Cancun or your Bali event. I got to figure out how to win that trip from over here. I don't know. There's got to be a way to do that, or I'm just going to crash the party. I don't think
Just come and crash the party, Ed. You can afford to now.
Well, but we're looking forward to it. It's great to have Danny over here on this side of the pond for a while. You know, it's interesting. People here talk about, you know, the slump that can happen in the summertime. And I say, listen, when you build a global business, you're insulated from that because it's not summer in Australia. It's wintertime. You guys are kind of hunkered down and working like you work in the wintertime here. So you build a global business, you really do find out that you insulate yourselves from the seasonal shifts that can take place, the holidays that take place in this market that don't over here. So it really is, it's the best global business model out there. And I'm just honored to be teamed with you guys. I actually have to scoot. Rebecca's waiting for me with some family members. I didn't know it was going to be on quite so long, but Big Al, gosh, what a treat to have him on your call. Silverman's a class act. Danny, Bart, we're all chasing Danny. You know, when I talk about Danny, it's like, I'm their leader. Where'd he go? So great to have you on this side of the ocean, Danny. Looking forward to crossing paths with you over here.
Oh yeah, many times. We're going to do a lot of stuff together. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks,
Melissa,
Ed.
I got to tell you, Melissa does the best newsletter in the industry, not just in ASEA, it's in the industry. And it's such a beautiful produced piece, but so much information, so easily processed. Just thanks for all you do, Melissa.
Well, thank you, Ed. I know you're biased. I know one thing about you.
Biased because it's accurate. It's an accurate bias.
Thanks. And I was going to say, I met you 17 years ago in May. And one thing I know about you over the 17 years, you love experiences. You love holidays. You probably have holidayed or vacationed more than any other person I know. So Ed's the man, wherever he's going to be. If there's a trip and he's going to win it and he's going to be there. And both he and Rebecca love to meet everyone. You really are a phenomenal relationship builder, Ed. That's one of your amazing strengths. So thank you for leading by example and showing us the way.
Well, thank you. It's been fun to get to know you.
And I love to Rebecca. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, Ed. We have a ball, don't we, when we go on these trips? I mean, everybody should be reaching every single trip and incentive, not just for Reach the Beach. There's so many things on offer right around the globe with everything that ASEA puts on. But the real bonus, isn't it, is a byproduct of winning those trips because your organisation is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
So true. And actually, that's a good point to segue into this slide. I pulled this out. I was reading the 2018 Network Marketing Report. And basically, it shows a breakdown by age. This is specifically the United States, but it's indicative of the rest of the world. Now, something that I know is pretty much not really targeted in terms of an age group in ASEA is the millennials. So have a look at the breakdown on this graph. This here, you've got the Gen Xers, you've got the baby boomers, of course, that are getting older. Look at the percentage increase, or the 37% of millennials aged between 23 and 37 in the United States in 2017. So when it comes to the challenges that David Silverman was talking about, being psychologically unemployable, absolutely hating to work for a boss, millennials are very entrepreneurial. They look for a different way. And I wanted to highlight this today and please talk to it, Dan or Bart, if you would like to, just to highlight, don't forget the millennials. We're not seeing as many of them, at least in Australia, coming to events, but they're looking for us. That's 37% on this chart. These are accurate figures. Do you guys have anything you want to add to that?
We've got a massive shift coming with ASEA in regards to, a lot of the things that are in place from 10 years ago. So we're bringing in a lot of new things that's going to attract a lot of different people, including the millennials. It's going to be a big help.
Thanks, Dan. Well, with being on the advisory council, you have some insights into that. So, yeah, it's just to let you know to be aware. Don't forget the millennials. So thank you for your comments on that. Just to remind everybody, particularly those who may not be aware, of course, the annual renewals came out on March 1st, and it's basically $25 a year US, but the fee is due on the date of enrolment, and they use the credit card on file. Emails will be sent to the account holder 30 days in advance of charging them the actual upcoming payment. Now, accounts will go into suspension if the credit card on file fails to process and no payments received by the renewal date. So when it goes into a suspension until the fee is paid, or then the account's actually terminated. So suspended accounts will not be able to order products, enroll associates or customers, or receive commission payments, but they'll be able to access the ASEA virtual office to update billing information and submit that renewal payment. So account termination, if it's suspended, it's important to know within 180 days of suspension, it will be terminated. And terminated accounts, they no longer hold a place in the ASEA commission tree or system record, and they cannot be reinstated. So be aware that upon termination, all associate accounts directly sponsored by the terminated account will compress up to the next sponsorship level. This affects your personal group volume, your Director 300 legs, and compensation, the remaining active associates. So the message here is be aware of what's happening in your tree. Pull the reports from the reporting in the virtual office to find out who's actually up for renewal and to see if accounts are in suspension mode, but don't oversee this because it could create challenges to your strategy building your business if you're not keeping an eye on who is in the tree in this status, but also reach out to them. Use it as an opportunity to reconnect and talk to them about their product experiences and where they're at with the business and their product stories. So just to let you know, with the enrolment auto ship sign-ups, you can add a 0 in the Australian telephone number now, which was causing confusion in the past. Of course, we all now in Australia have experienced the effects of the change in the PEG rate. So there was a 6% increase in costs and commissions. New associate fee is listed as $65. In the virtual office, it hasn't been quite updated yet, but just to let you know that's changed. So if you sign somebody up, it's still $60, at least it was last time we checked a few days ago. And the new enrolment pack prices are all updated as well in the ASEA virtual office. I'm going to call on a very special and beautiful lady now to chat with us. She's put together, along with Sarah Aquilina in Sydney and Mel Croucher, a phenomenal way for us to be able to stay in touch when it comes to event tracking. So I'll just make sure that Alyssa Tucker's here. There she is. Thanks for joining us, Alyssa.
Hello, Alyssa. You're muted.
Hi.
Hi there. So I know Sarah was going to be on today too, but it was just a pretty quick segment. Tell us about Redox Events Australia and New Zealand, why you formed it, and yeah, the idea behind it and how we can benefit from it.
Yeah, so it wasn't really Sarah and I's just our own idea. Dan hosted a leadership meeting with his downline, and quite a few of us were getting a bit confused with so many different things and WhatsApp and emails and trying to work out when events were. So we thought it would be good to have one place where all events are kept easy to see and in date order as well. So the Redox events on Facebook really is a great tool to use because you can share it straight from Facebook to a message. You can share it straight to emails, and it's a great place to see all the events in order. And we want to be able to leverage events as much as possible. So anyone that is running an event in their area, if they can send through a flyer to Sarah or myself or Melissa so that we can create the event for you. If we don't create the event, then it's not on the calendar. So we'll have to create it for you. But yeah, just a great way to have all the events in order, all in the one place. And it's a really easy tool to use to share. If you click on it, you can add straight to your calendar. So the events page though is actually just for associates. So just make sure that you don't add all of your new prospects, or they will get a little bit annoyed probably at all the messages coming through of when events are. But the way you use it is you share it with your prospects. So
Perfect.
Sarah and I will be doing lots of little videos on how to best use it, because I think it's not being used because people don't know exactly what to do with the page. So hop onto the Redox Events page, and Sarah and I will do some walkthroughs on how to get the most out of using the Redox Events page.
Thanks, Alyssa. And there is a great video that you've already got on this Facebook page that explains the group for people to be aware of that. I'm going to just go into a little bit of a recap of what Alyssa's saying here in just a second, but these are the other Facebook pages. We go through it every month so that people are aware of the etiquette and also of these pages, and also of the benefits of them as well. So of course, ASEA Healthy Self is for product testimonials, ASEA Wealthy Self business testimonials, ASEA United's the training site, and this is ASEA videos and training, and Dream Struggle Victory is the recognition page for rank advancements, in particular from our Ed and Rebecca's upline sponsors, Chuck and Tammy Gates. So just to recap, Redox Events, so it's for the promotion of events. You click on the events tab and create an event. So you need to be really specific in your title. From a marketing point of view, it's just easier. People are just going to want to find information really quickly. So make sure you indicate that it's a live event versus an online event, where it's at, and state the town as well. So as Alyssa said, the events appear in chronological order. Add associates to the group and tag them in the relevant invites. You can private message them from there as well, but most importantly, keep the site clean and relevant. And also the host for these events, they need to know how many people are going. So make sure you click on going to events as well. So yeah, Dan's just put a message in the chat box. Take a photo or a screenshot of this slide and the next one as well, so you understand what's going on. So ASEA Healthy Self, only add people after receiving their permission, because there's no business posting on this site. So the primary goal of this post is focusing on helping someone watching want to actually become a customer or an associate. And it's the primary focus of the group is the excitement as well. So it's also easy to achieve that through the before and after photographs for the product stories and testimonials. So ASEA Wealthy Self, it's for people who are looking at joining ASEA. You want the experience to have a buzz around the business, and the primary goal is the posts have got to be focused on helping someone watching want to become an associate. So post photos or videos on how ASEA has actually increased your lifestyle. So you can do a life before ASEA and life after ASEA or during ASEA video update there for that site. Dream Struggle Victory, we use it a lot to recognise you in our team. It's a great way to welcome new associates, and it's a positive community of like-minded people where we can really uplift and celebrate others. So ASEA United's designed exclusively for people who have joined as associates. You get tips on how to run your business, but don't add anyone who's not an active associate. It will be annoying to them, so please don't do that. The primary goal of this group is to help associates succeed through training and duplication. But keep in mind, from the etiquette point of view, it's not a group for welcomes or recognition. So the most important notes in these groups is never prospect or sign up or attempt to sign up someone from anyone else's group or anyone else's person. And if a guest in these groups ever indicates that they're ready to purchase or join, make sure you find out who introduced them to the group and connect those two people together. So thanks again, Alyssa, for updating us on that, and also for Sarah for being the administrators and running that program. So really appreciate that Facebook events group. The enrolment packs have been updated. Keep an eye on those. This is to let you know that the loyalty rewards points obviously go up with the higher investment in these packs. And of course, the US packs are there listed there as well. So in terms of the loyalty reward points, keep in mind that there's there's more than 3 different ways, but the main 3 ways are loyalty points grow with time on auto ship. Of course, with the amazing enrolment packs, as I just indicated with the arrows, it goes up with the higher volume packs. And there's a 20 bonus loyalty points that you get on the first month's auto ship for 100 PV, or 30 points for 150 PV on auto ship. So you could also earn, as Bart had indicated earlier, loyalty points on the Fast Forward Plus. And of course, you'll be earning loyalty points through the Reach for the Beach momentum you'll be creating there. So loyalty points, if you don't understand them, there is a flyer and information in our virtual office library. Just to let you know, upcoming events. So Bart's hosting the Expert in the House webinar this coming Wednesday night. Obviously, Australia New Zealand and Asia are on the best time zones for this particular webinar, so that'll be a lot of fun. And then today in Sydney, get anyone in Sydney today to the Ride Eastward Leagues Club for this Diamond Run event. Phenomenal agenda lined up with great speakers, including an amazing gentleman who's coming to speak for half an hour on how to bring your vision board actually to life, not just to leave it on the wall and forget about it, to actually immerse it into your life. And I want to thank Suzanne Grist for lining up this amazing man for that segment as well. So we have Perth, where Bart and I, Sep and Jeske, will be next Sunday, and that will be the last event in the tour for this round in Australia, the Diamond Tour. So be sure to get your tickets. They go up with door sales. Of course, guests are free, and all tickets at redoxdiamonds.com. So in July, just to let you know, our next webinar will be July 6th for our team training. September, of course, David mentioned it several times because of how passionate he is about, he said it's a great way to belief up. That's one of the words he used when it comes to new people coming in. They don't know our vision. They've got to experience it. And at this event, Bart had mentioned this as well, get to the convention. It will change your business. It will speed up your business. And David also mentioned it's where you can turn walkers into runners. So there is a discount code there for Australia for you to be able to save money on that up until July 31st, and tickets at ASEAconvention.com. We'll have an online Zoom webinar post-convention this year on September 21st. There's only 500 spots on our Zoom line, so you'll want to get in early for this webinar, and we'll keep you updated on the special head office guest speakers and the upline diamond leaders from around the world as a convention recap as well. Of course, October, there is the amazing Diamond Summit and the Ambassador Extension Program in Hawaii, Oahu for the extension and Maui for the Diamond Summit. So the qualification period ends 2nd of August. So keep working away at that, because this is really a trip of a lifetime. And of course, very excited, Ambassador Diamond Alan Noble is going to be joining us for a whirlwind Australian tour in November. Alan is one of ASEA's most highly sought after speakers and leaders. He's Irish, living in Texas, beautiful family, and he's coming out here. We've been working on him. I know, Dan, you have, and Bart, you have. Every time you see Alan, you ask him when he's coming to Australia. So we're very excited for him to be locked in. Now, tickets are only $12.50 from the redoxdiamonds.com website until June 15. Very, very affordable. Lock in your tickets, make a decision to get your leaders to book in, to purchase 10 tickets or so each, to be able to have them at the discounted rate, to talk to all new people and get all your teams here. This will be, we're expecting to have to upgrade some of these venues because we absolutely know that there's not going to be enough room. We'll need to certainly have a higher capacity. So it starts November 9th through November 17th. So yet again, get your tickets too for the February Envision event. The early bird price goes up after June 15th. So ASEAEvents.com. Of course, the Ethos training by ASEA founder Tyler Norton is one of the highlights of the weekend. And of course, the full day Envision event on the Saturday, followed by the peak performance training where the early bird tickets go up on June 15th. This amount is in Australian dollars, of course, on the Gold Coast, which is our big annual event here in Australia. So yet again, as a reminder, redoxdiamonds.com is the place to go. You can book events directly through Facebook. So this is for the Australian New Zealand associates. You can book events through directly, and also access all the previous recordings of the Expert in the House webinar, and also the Gold Coast this year's events. The recordings will be uploaded soon on this website as well. So just as a recap, so that there's not confusion, corporate events are ASEAEvents.com, Australian Diamond events are the redoxdiamonds.com, where you can access the Facebook page, and there's ASEAconvention.com as well. So there's also the Redox shop. I'm not sure how many of you are talking to your associates about it, but it's a phenomenal way to access really great team tools, and Dr. Robertson Ward's book and Dr. Gary Samuelson's book as well, Healthy Redox actually the Science of Healing revealed. So these products, these tools ship from Melbourne. So it's very affordable, a lot better than what we used to have with packing our suitcases when we went to the convention to bring home information. So we don't have to pay US shipping anymore. Very, very affordable. So yet again, the redoxshop.com. Ed had mentioned the newsletter. We're working on getting a better subscription link for you to remember for this, but take a screenshot. This is sent out fortnightly. It's a great way to recognise you and your team's achievements, and also to keep you posted on upcoming events and have direct links in there for tickets. If you're curious, I know we had Kayleen O'Connor on last month's webinar indicating that for people outside of Australia, or even if you're in Australia and New Zealand, go through your virtual office and access the event calendar to find out what's happening globally. Another great way is to sign up to our upline, Trish and Bob Schwenkler's newsletter. They have a phenomenal place on ateamsupport.com where you can actually access events globally. And if you subscribe to their newsletter, it will be sent to you every week. So here's the subscription link in the newsletter in the intro section for you to click on. And there's also one at the bottom of each of the newsletters as well. So I'll just stop sharing to get Dan and Bart and everyone back on. But just wanted to thank you all for joining us today. Of course, July 6th for Australia is our next webinar, the 5th of July in the USA. I'll just stop the share. We're really excited you were able to join us, I know. And thank you, Alyssa, for coming on. It was a long webinar today, but we wouldn't want to, as I say this every month, I wouldn't sacrifice the time for the wisdom that we've learned from Big Al Schreiter as well as from Dr. David Silverman. So yeah, thank you again for all joining us. Any final departure comments from anyone?
Sorry, Bart, I've got to jump on this other call. So
look, Dan, I want you to just talk about Alan Noble coming up and maybe how to promote that, getting multiple tickets along those lines. I mean, it's a great event. We need to maximize having Alan Noble coming out.
Yeah, I mean, everybody should be working on every single event. This is a big one. We've been trying to get him out for years and years and years. All the pressure that we put on him. He's coming, guys. So you may not ever see him again. He is one of the best speakers in our whole company. He gets everybody in the grasp of their hands, and there's going to be some incredible gold nuggets. So promote that event, and also obviously, you know, the ones we've got coming up outside of that.
So the tickets are $12.50 until June the 15th. So my suggestion is pick up, buy 10 tickets and say, you'll need to put them in your name on each one of them. You can transfer them across, but say, hey, if you come on, if we can get you enrolled today, I've got a ticket for you. You could offer it as an incentive. You could use them lots of different ways, but I think that's a great way to kind of really create the momentum for that event coming up.
Yeah, I always personally buy 10, 20 tickets.
Thanks for jumping on with us.
Yeah, no worries. I don't know if you're cutting out or I'm cutting out, but just quickly, there's a lot of people on this call that are building internationally. We're putting a lot of webinars in place. They're all going to be in their correct times and starting from next week. USA or North America training calls and Discover ASEAs, to Central and South America training calls and Discover ASEAs, into Spain and into France. And these will be happening every week. Every single person on this call through the WhatsApp groups will find out when they're on. Plug your people into everything.
Thanks, Dan. Great.
No worries. Thanks. Thank you so much for the call. Going to do another call now, so I'll take off and Discover ASEA.
Thanks, Dan. Great to see you.
Thanks, Melissa. Thanks, Alyssa.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks.
Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. This webinar is definitely for you guys, so you can stay in touch with what's going on. And yet again, congratulations to all the recognition that we highlighted today. We'll see you soon, maybe in Sydney. Cancuners, have a phenomenal time on your trip. You deserve it. And if we don't see you before then, we'll catch you next July. Thanks, everyone.